when I was Muslim, and even when I started talking to Jewish friends there, was one question I kept asking that nobody seemed to answer clearly. Why does God seem so active in the past, but so silent now? In the Hebrew Bible, God speaks constantly. He parts seas. He sends fire from heaven. He speaks directly to prophets. He judges nations openly. Moses parts the Red Sea. Elijah calls fire down. Isaiah hears God's voice. Abraham argues with God face to face. Then suddenly, silence. No more public miracles. No more nations wiped out. No more prophets speaking for God with authority. As a Muslim, this question didn't really have a satisfying answer. Islam says Muhammad is the final prophet. But that doesn't explain why God stopped acting the way he used to. It just says revelation ended. So I kept asking what changed. When I read Christianity seriously, I realized it actually gives an answer. Christian theology says God wasn't just speaking through prophets anymore. He entered history himself. Jesus is presented as the fulfillment of the covenant, not another messenger repeating commands. Before Jesus, judgment was emphasized. Law was emphasized. Nations were judged openly. After Jesus, the focus shifts. Not because God stopped caring, but because judgment was delayed. Christianity teaches that the cross absorbed judgment instead of pouring it out immediately. That explains two things at once: why God was so active before, and why patience defines history now. Grace replaces constant judgment. Mercy replaces immediate punishment. God isn't silent because he disappeared. He's silent because, according to Christianity, the decisive act already happened. Islam doesn't really address this shift. Judaism waits for a future fulfillment. Christianity claims it already occurred. It explains something real. Why history feels different now. Why judgment feels delayed. Why God's interaction with humanity changed. For me, that answer mattered. Because silence only makes sense if something final already happened, and that was one of the reasons. I stopped seeing Jesus as just another prophet.